your first time, let me just say a few things about it. So I mentioned the origin of feeding your demons from that 11th century practice of Che. And it really is, I think at the core of it, the invitation is feeding, not fighting. The other way, so in other words, instead of pushing away or rejecting our demons or those things our afflictions or those things that we don't like about ourselves, this is an invitation to turn towards and actually open to and then engage with those neurotic aspects of ourselves or of our personalities or those obsessive qualities or those things that challenge us in daily life. Mostly psychological. It could also be physical ailments. It could also be difficulty in relationship, for example, or anything that is really taking your energy at the moment, something that you're preoccupied with and that you're struggling with or obsessed with. And this is a good, you may start thinking about what you might want to work with tonight, because in a moment I'll invite you to think about something you'll work with. And then I'll lead you through this process so you can have a direct experience. And then afterwards, we can talk about it a little bit. You may have questions, and I can say a few words about feeding your demons and some of the principles behind it, and maybe a few things about Maciek Labdren, who is really the progenitor of Che, and that's also of this process. But really at its core, it's about, you can say it's feeding, not fighting, but it's not avoiding. It's almost more profound to me. We are so programmed, so conditioned to reflexively avoid or try to avoid that which we don't like. We rebel against it, we resist it, but so often we have these very subtle techniques of avoidance. We just want to, especially, in our personal life, we want to avoid aspects that are, awkward and difficult for us. It feels uncomfortable, feels like suffering, it's unpleasant. So we want to avoid that. But also in a larger cultural sense, things that are going on in the culture, that we just want to run for the hills. And this not only the feeding your demons work, but really Maciek's teachings really invite us to turn towards and to open, to basically abide in the vast nature of our minds, but not to the exclusion of reality, not to the exclusion of anything that's going on in that reality around us, not by avoiding and carving out some romantic, luminous space of meditative absorption that actually translates into subtle avoidance of what is. So that's basically at the core of her teachings. And this practice is, along those lines, it's really saying, it's a little bit like taking the bull by the horns and saying, okay, what is this thing that has been bugging me? Or maybe these issues in my personality that I've been going to therapy for so many years and so forth. But how do I really engage with this? And how do I accept it, first of all, right? Because in order to not avoid, we have to accept that we are having those experiences or those emotions. So this is that invitation.